Hi, everybody. This is Audie Hemora, and welcome to my YouTube channel, Awe Discovery. The Philippines is blessed with so much talent. So much so that the theater group that I co founded, Trumpets, decided that we were going to put up a summer workshop that would help kids discover and hone their talents. So in 1993, Trumpets Playshop was born. It started out with just about 20 students, but it grew over the years so that by 1998, there were about 1,800 students every summer. Can you imagine how gulo that was? But it was also very joyful because we got to help kids discover their God given talents. There was so much talent that we decided that we would pick the most outstanding ones and we formed a group called the Playshop Kids. We picked six outstanding children who were musical, who looked good, who knew how to perform well, and we banded them together. We gave them shows in malls. We put them in musicals. They did a recording for Dunkin' Donuts. They were like our firstborn, and they've grown. That was 23 years ago. And very recently, I crossed paths with one of them, and we said, you know what? It's a great time to catch up. And so we are planning a Play Shop Kids reunion. But working towards that, we thought it would be a great idea if I interview each one of them first and reintroduce them to you because, boy, they've had wonderful journeys and you want to hear about their stories. So here's the first one that we're featuring. And so I am very excited to introduce one of the six original Play Shop Kids. She was actually our baby diva. She was our protege. She was the voice. Here she is, Katrice Gavino.
Hi.
Hey,
Hi, everyone.
where are you, Katrice? Where are you based now?
I'm in Los Angeles, California,
Okay,
currently.
all right. Well, we'll talk more about where you are, but let's go back to the past. Diba?
I'm excited.
Yeah, I mean, I love you kids. You are really my children. I feel like, and it's just that we lost touch for a while, and so to see all of you again, or have the opportunity to see you guys again, and check up on you, and then know about where your life is at this point is undescribable for me. It is exhilarating. I'm so excited to find out about you. But let's go back muna where it all began. You joined Trumpets Play Shop maybe late 90s, tama ba yon?
Yeah, like 1998 or 1999. I was in Lito Villarreal's class. And
Ah,
then, I remember right after Play Shop, I was invited to do like a mall show
yeah.
with Iñaki. I remember my first gig right out of Play Shop. That's when I met Iñaki.
Okay.
Yeah,
that was the
I
Peter
remember
Pan,
that.
right? The Peter Pan.
No, that was like a mall show.
Oh, a
That was
mall
like
show.
a separate. Yeah, it was a separate mall show, and then I did a play somewhere else. I did like King and I.
Yeah,
Um, I can't remember his last. Yeah, and then after that, um, then we did Peter Pan.
I see. And then we formed Play Shop soon after that,
Yeah.
2000, right?
Yes, I believe that right after Peter Pan, the next project I did was the Play Shop Kids.
All right. Okay. Before we talk about the Play Shop Kids, do you remember? Do you have the earliest recollection you have about discovering your talent? How did you even find out you could sing, or that your mom, Rocky, found out that you could sing? Do you remember? How old were you?
Yeah, you know, Tito Odi, it's so crazy. I have vivid memories. Like, it's like, parang walang time na nagpass. I remember I was probably like 3.
Wow.
And I remember being in well, first of all, I remember in kindergarten being invited to do bulprisa.
Uh-huh.
And then I would get invited to do bulprisa like every year or almost every year. But I remember, if we're talking like specifically,
Yeah.
the earliest recollection I have is me going around in our playground and then me singing and then me noticing that all of a sudden I had vibrato.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was I didn't know what it was. I just knew that, like, oh, I could, it sounds like what the professional singers do.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it was funny. And I was just walking around the playground just singing. But I remember also like coming home from school every day. And like we had this this was the 90s, so we had like the big karaoke like machine where you put the cassette tape in and the
Yeah,
-1, and then you read the lyrics, and then you
yeah.
just, we had like a mic, and then I would do that like every day, almost like probably every day after school. And then like my everyone in the house would say, oh, like my jeep dyan tumigil, like nakikinig sa labas or something like that. Yeah, because I guess my voice would, the
Carrie.
doors would be
Yeah,
open,
yeah.
yeah, and it would carry out to the streets.
Because you had a powerful voice, you know. Wait, so without prodding from your mom, you just took up that microphone and started singing?
Yeah, I think I was singing by my second birthday. I have a picture of me singing to guests on my second birthday.
Okay.
Like, I don't think my mom would have pushed. I don't think she would have ever like pushed me to sing if I did have it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think it came out, and then she was like, oh, okay, let's put you in voice lessons. And then I remember taking Center for Pop.
Uh-huh.
Like, I studied at Center for Pop. That was my earliest one, or it was either Ryan Cayabyab school or Center
Yeah.
for Pop.
Cool.
Yeah.
And then decided na you finally decided to be put in play shop siguro for the acting, musical theater.
Yeah, like here's what's interesting too. Like when I was in Ryan Cayabyab, like there was like one class where the teacher gave me gummy bears for being good, I guess. And like that was like a big like ego boost or something, but like I don't know if it's important, but yeah. And then play shop and then I joined play shop, um the workshop. But I remember doing like ABS-CBN workshops for a bit before that.
Mm. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's so cool. My God. So you were, it was inborn. It was really inborn. So do you remember your first play shop? Because I know Lito, he's a musician. He would have automatically recognize how good you are. Do you remember when he started to favor you?
It was during, okay, so there was a King and I excerpt show in Glorieta that was hosted by Stages or Trumpets, or produced by Stages or Trumpets. I
Yeah.
was in that show, and I had a non-singing role in that show, so acting lang, diba? Pero like everyone like would compliment me on my acting, and then I guess it caught Tito Lito's attention because maybe he was like, oh, parang magaling umarte to, like, and then he and my mom started like speaking with each other during like one rehearsal or something, and then he was like, oh, you know, she should join Play Shop, the
Oh,
workshop,
that's what
and
happened.
then that's when I joined. Yeah, and I remember that show had like Carla
Martinez?
Martinez
Hmm.
and even Monique Villa.
Really?
Uh,
I don't
yeah, it
know.
was um Bimbo Cerudo was the king.
Oh, King and
It
I.
was like,
Okay.
yeah,
I see. Wow. Wow. So it's great. I mean, okay. So did you did you love it right away? Did you enjoy it, or was it something you were forced into? Or
no, like I didn't think of it at all like work. It
okay,
was like parang walang ka-stress-stress. Parang like it was a natural thing.
yeah,
And
yeah,
like I said, like in the King and I, like there were I was part of like a bunch of other kids,
yeah,
and like it was just easy. Like it was easier than school.
yeah. How did you manage?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, how did you manage both school and workshops and plays and musicals?
I don't know. Like it just happened, and then like, maybe because I was a kid and I didn't know, like, oh, like if you get 5 hours of sleep or something, you're gonna be tired the next day. I didn't think like it would just like happen. I would go to school, and then after that, there would be rehearsals. And
Mhm.
I remember we lived in Bulacan, so like I guess the a commute was, I don't know, I don't remember vividly how long it was from Bulacan to Manila.
You probably
Probably
slept.
like two
You prob-
hours.
yeah, you probably slept while you were in the car.
Yeah, yeah. And then but I never, it was never like work to me. Like
Okay.
I never felt like I was working.
Yeah. Well, I just have to say, for those who weren't around when you first showed up, you were extraordinary. Your voice was exceptional. Iba talaga. It had power. It had intelligence. The way you sang, you know. I mean,
Yeah.
you weren't
Tito
just.
Odi, I don't know if you remember this, but the Play Shop Showcase, Tito Lito's Play Shop Showcase, I was singing Play Shop Baby,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then the mic broke in the middle of my performance. I don't know if you probably don't, but like I know you were there. And then the mic, I was singing, the mic broke, and I picked it up and put it back together during the song. And to me, that was like,
I
oh,
remember.
I wasn't freaking out. Like I wasn't like freaking out or anything. I wasn't scared. I was just like, oh shoot,
I remember.
and
I
then
remember
kept
that.
singing. I remember meeting you then, and
Yeah,
Sheila Francisco.
yeah. Yeah. I remember that. I remember that moment. Yeah. And so I mean, trooper. This kid's a trooper. You know. So I mean, do you have any recollections about Play Shop? I mean, what was that like? Being with other kids who have the same, you know, passion and love to sing and dance.
Yeah, the number one memory that sticks out when Play Shop Kids or Play Shop Workshop.
Play Shop, well, either Play Shop Workshop and the kids.
Okay, Play Shop Workshop. Roden Araneta sticks out to
Oh
me
God.
as like I remember like I was singing, and then he like called my mom over, and he was like complimenting her and complimenting her on the color of her hair.
Yeah.
And like I remember him being really funny, and then Play Shop being around kids that were doing the same thing that I was doing.
Finally, when you joined Play Shop Kids, did you get along with Sina Iñaki and Alex and
I knew
Isa?
Inyaki has been crazy since the day I met him.
Okay.
So like like I knew what to expect with Inyaki.
Yeah.
I say that in like the most loving way. Like Inyaki's like crazy in a good way. But back when we were kids, it was in a bad way. But like Alex, I didn't meet until like 3 rehearsals in, because I remember she wasn't at the first rehearsal. I knew Isa. I met her at the show, the mall show that I did with Inyaki, the one I was talking about earlier. But I don't remember how I met Isa. I remember how I met Isa, but like vaguely. But
Mm.
like she was there at the first rehearsal of Play Shop Kids. And I remember it was at like a back room at Rustan's.
Yeah,
It was like
that
a
was the
back room at
show.
Rustan's.
Yeah, the show that we did for
Yeah.
you guys. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I remember meeting Chris at the first. I might be wrong. But like I remember meeting Chris early on, and Marvin, I believe so. Yeah, I got along with all of them.
Oh, you know, the mother of Chris, Tucci, just sent me that clip of you guys singing together. You guys are
Yeah.
so good at that age.
Yeah. And you know, it's so interesting because yung relationship namin was like a sibling relationship. Like it wasn't perfect.
Yeah.
Like we would fight like over petty things.
Okay.
Like oh we would, but like it was like a brother and sister relationship.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I'm saying? It was like little kids living in the same house, like fighting each other sometimes, and then like 2 seconds later, like talking and just like singing with each other.
Galing. I love that. I love those wonderful memories. I hope we can dig up a lot of pictures because you know they're going to bring up a lot of vivid memories. But after that, after Play Shop Kids, you got very involved also. I mean, I know at one point Lea Salonga got you to perform. I mean, you like kind of like the new Lea, parang that was how they were introducing you. Do you remember how was that?
Um, I personally never saw it as a new Leia. Cause like that to me is like there can never be a new Leia. Like Leia is Leia, and
Yeah,
like other people are other people. But like yeah, I was in her Broadway concert. Um, and then I sang maybe in Together Wherever We Go with her.
yeah,
And like, do you want me to describe like what that experience was like?
sure, yes, absolutely.
I mean, like Lea Salonga is like the one of the most professional people I've ever worked with. Like I because I was so young, I didn't feel any pressure to be like, oh shoot, this is Lea Salonga. You
Uh,
know, I didn't feel that. I was just like a little kid. I didn't even know what I knew I was gonna sing with Lea Salonga at her concert. I didn't know what else was. I didn't have like any expectations of like me being scared or anything. I just remember having fun and her being really nice and her being like really welcoming and like everyone being really nice. And yeah, now when people see the show, they're like, I can't believe you were a kid and you were backed by like how many piece orchestra and then you did this and then you did that. And it was how many days did you rehearse? And to me, it's just like it was easy.
yeah, yeah,
It didn't again like it didn't feel like I was working or like it didn't feel like I was pressured or like stressed or anything.
yeah.
Like going to school and studying for math and studying for science, that was harder for me.
That was your water. You were fish in water. It was easy for you. Prodigy nga eh.
Yeah.
Like Leia, you were exceptional in that craft.
Maybe far away, or maybe real nearby. He may be pouring her coffee, she may be straightening his tie. Maybe in a house all hidden by a hill, she's sitting playing piano, he's sitting paying a bill. Wherever we go, whatever we do, we're gonna go through it together. We may not go far, but sure as a star. Wherever we are, it's together. Wherever I go, I know she goes. Wherever I go, I know she goes. No fits, no fights, no feuds, and no egos. Amigos, together.
What happened after that? I mean, did you? What happened? Parang I lost track at you at one point. Did you? Is that when you migrated? When did you migrate?
Yeah. I think that I reached like an awkward phase when I was like 13, or I didn't turn 13 there. I was like 12, and it was like I wasn't a kid and I wasn't an
Yeah,
adult.
yeah,
It's just like awkward.
yes,
And then we migrated to this. It wasn't long after. It was like maybe like 1 year
yeah.
after that, because there was a repeat of that show, and I remember doing the repeat, and then we migrated here.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. And so tell me about the migration. So you moved to LA right away with your mom?
Yeah, because my aunt lives here in LA, so we moved in with her. LA, I started middle school right away, which is like you know how in the Philippines there's like grade school until grade 12 or something, then high school na.
Right.
I guess like here it's like grade 8 to grade 12
Yeah.
is middle school.
Right. Right.
So I started middle school, and I remember getting like super culture shocked because like in the Philippines, you know how we have class and we stay in one classroom the whole day.
Mm-hmm.
So here, it's like the bell rings and then you move to another classroom. So ikaw yung pupunta sa kanila, hindi sila yung pupunta sa'yo.
Right.
And I remember like the first day of school, like the bell rang and I was like, why is everyone standing up? And I was like freaking out. And then I had to experience like running after the school bus and making sure the school bus doesn't leave me
Yeah.
to go home. But like, yeah, it was like a big culture shock that it took me a while to adjust to it. Like I remember like really being really sad and missing like my friends in the Philippines. And then I started to do theater here.
Oh, you did?
And that's when I start. My first show here was Beauty and the Beast with Musical Theater West. It's a company here in California. And that's when everything started to make sense again.
Okay. Tell me about that. How was this community theater or professional theater? What was it?
Musical Theater West is a regional theater. When they say regional theater here in the States, it means it's a union theater, right? So like they produce professional shows, but Beauty and the Beast was like a summer stock show that they did to where like it would be like a kids show. Like they would like get kids to be in the summer show. That was like the summer show.
Mm-hmm.
And I did that. And I remember like I was like a broom in Beauty and the Beast and like an ensemble member. And that was like, because you know, like in the Philippines I was like always had like lead solos.
Yeah.
And there was an adjustment. Like you find out that you kind of have to work from from here
again. Yeah.
and make your way up.
Yeah.
And that like, and that's the real world. That's just the way it is. And it made me realize like parang swerte ko palang, like yung nangyari sa akin in the Philippines was like, it was like so easy. It doesn't always happen that way.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Mm-hmm. Did you decide to pursue the arts like theater there, or did you decide at one point that you might try something else? I mean, I had the same experience when I went. I was also the king of theater here, and then I went to New York, and all of a sudden I just disappeared. And so it made me think about being in a big fish in a small pond, like back to the Philippines. But if you're a small fish in a huge pond, makes you really think whether it's something you want to pursue. Did you try to
when I first moved here, I didn't know what I was gonna do. I was just I was focused on like like everything changed, like all of a sudden, like everything changed. And then I would write like these journals in my English class because we had an assignment where we would write like our journals. And then somehow maybe I wrote something in there because my teacher was like, "Oh, you should audition for Musical Theater West." Like I remember her saying that. Maybe I wrote something in there about me singing or something. Yeah. And then that's when I did it. Because there's so much competition here. Parang you sometimes feel like you doubt yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was I think everyone here experiences that. Like I want to say like, don't ever doubt yourself, but like I feel like everyone experiences that, especially when you're young, because the competition is so fierce.
Yeah.
Like people coming from New York, people coming from LA, people coming from the Philippines, people coming from all over the world, not just the Philippines. Before Philippines lang, diba? Like now it's like international, like everyone's here. And especially when you're young, but it gets better with age. Because like as you age, you realize like what you have to improve. Like parang learning never stops. That's another thing that I learned is that there's no such thing as like, oh, I graduated na from this school, I'm good not to go for the rest of my life. No, it's like every month you have to have a class, or like every few months, or like it's because it changes too. Like this trend now, the singing trend or this acting trend is gonna change next year, and there's gonna be a new trend. And if you don't like familiarize yourself with that trend, then there's gonna be others who are familiar with that trend. Then you're gonna be competing against them, and they're gonna have the edge over you because you didn't. Yeah, it's tough. Is what I realized. Like before, when I was a kid, like it was so easy. Like. But like you just do it for fun. And as you grow up, as you go older, you realize, oh, I was like really good as a kid, but now I'm competing against all these really good adults. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm good now too, but now also other adults are also good.
Right, right.
And I guess it's a good thing because like when you find yourself in that position, but that means you leveled up.
Yeah, yeah.
Kasi parang when you find yourself surrounded by good people, that means oh, you might be doing something similar to what they're doing because like that means you're up not up to par and could compete with them.
Right, right.
But like, compete is such a bad word. Compete is a bad word to use, but like I mean there is competition. When you audition, you
It is.
it is
It is
kind of a
competition.
competition.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
You know, well, this output. I mean, plus the fact that you're a Filipina, you're Asian, you're in a white man's land, and that's something you need to grapple with. Because I'll tell you this much: if you had stayed in the Philippines, even if you went through the awkward age, and everybody goes through that of not being a child and not being quite an adult, I think you would have easily transitioned. And if you were here, I have no doubt you'd be one of our leading ladies. You'd be one of our young leading ladies right now. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
another thing too. Like in the Philippines, there's only one type.
yeah,
It's it's an you're Asian and
yeah.
like you can play any role in the
Right,
Philippines. You
right.
know, here it's like it's getting better now. You
Hmm.
know, it's like it's getting better now, but there still isn't enough.
So, have you decided to at all to pursue it as a profession, or did you take up something else?
Right now, I'm pursuing TV and film.
Oh, really?
So yeah, I'm taking classes for that. Um, I realize how important the business part of it is because like coming from the Philippines, you know, parang like, oh, magaling siya. Like, and that really is what it's about. It's like it's about the art, but really you can't show the art without the business part of it.
Of course, yeah.
And yeah, that's something that was easier as a kid because when you're a kid and you have a big voice, it's easier to get cast because
Mhm,
that's rare, right? It's like a
mhm.
kid with a big voice. But
Yeah,
when you're an adult and you have a big voice, there are lots of adults with big voices.
yeah.
So it's like you have to market yourself in a way to where what is special about you, like what makes you stand out from these people.
Do you have an
And
agent? Do you have an agent already? When you're saying you're pursuing acting, what does that mean? Do you have an agent? You're going out for auditions?
yeah, I'm in the looking for representation right now. So I'm just trying to build my resume because I have a lot of theater. That doesn't really mean anything when you try to pursue film and TV here.
Hmm.
Like they don't look at that. Like if you're going for Broadway, like if I were going for Broadway, which of course everyone's going for Broadway. I would still love to go for Broadway. But I want to do everything. I want to do theater. I want to do TV, film. When for Broadway, you don't really need an agent. You just try to get your equity card
Right.
because if you don't have an equity card, you can't really audition in New York as much because like yung mga kalaban mo, di ba may equity card. You can, pero like you're gonna wait for like 10 hours
Mm.
for someone to not show up, and then you'll get to sing. Um, if you have a lot of theater credits, then obviously like that helps you in theater. But like TV and film, like it doesn't really mean it. They want you to have like TV and film like credits.
Okay. Have you
Yeah.
gone to any kind of audition?
Um.
Art, maybe?
This is really the first time I'm pursuing TV and film like seriously. So like a lot of my auditions have been self tape,
Okay.
like and submitting them, cause it's like during the pandemic. But like we can talk about like theater auditions. I've been to a lot of those. Because
Okay.
like I've done like a lot of theater shows and like yeah, there's no difference between the talent here and the talent in Manila. Like like Filipino talent is world class talent. Like there are also successful Filipino theater actors here and successful TV and film actors here.
Yeah, I'm seeing
Um
more representation.
yeah,
Yeah.
like Nico Santos,
Hmm.
um John Briones
Right. And his
in
brother.
Ratchet. Yeah, and like It's starting to get better, but like auditioning for, I remember one of my first auditions here was for a musical called 13, and I remember it being in LA. I remember it was before Broadway 5. This was like the creation of 13. I remember being it, and this was when I was adjusting. Wow. I was, we went to LA, and it was an open call, so ang daming tao. And I made a friend there, and she was really nice. And then I walked into the room, and Jason Robert Brown was there.
Wow.
Yeah, so I sang in front of Jason Robert Brown. And it was like, I feel like it wasn't a big deal to me because I didn't really know Jason Robert Brown yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like that's what's cool about being here is that it feels like the opportunities are endless. It's like I was no one. I was living in the Philippines like 3 years ago, and then now I'm like singing in front of Jason Robert Brown. Right. It feels like the opportunity is there. You just have to work hard, and by work hard, like work hard. Like it's not easy.
Yeah.
Like I said, like get into class all the time, consistently rehearse, consistently work hard, consistently be professional, and also be marketable and sell yourself. And it's a lot, you know.
Yeah.
There's so many things that that you have to do that I didn't even think of as a kid. Before, as a kid, like all I have to do is sing.
Yeah.
I remember like coming here, and then I would be in a dance call, and I was like, I didn't know how to dance. Like everyone was doing like pirouettes and like leaps and everything, and I was like, all I know is how to sing.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't take what's that class in Play Shop, the dance class, street dance, or it was like there was a Play Shop class.
Street dancing, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't take that class.
Yeah.
I was a singer, like period.
Yeah.
And I had to. The acting came easier because I was already acting, but like the dancing was hard. And then I went to AMDA. It's called the American Musical and Dramatic Academy.
You did?
Yeah, I went to AMDA in Los Angeles, and there's another one in New York. I went to the one in LA, and I learned a lot there, like especially the dance part, and the serious musical theater, like performing a song and like acting through song and dancing. That's where I learned a lot of it.
Did you take a course?
No, I did the whole thing. Like it was
the whole.
Yeah.
Was it like a college course, like a theater college course?
You get a certificate. Okay. It's an after high school. That's where I went.
I see.
I went to AMDA.
Yeah.
And then I got a certificate. Not that a certificate means anything.
No,
like it's just
AMDA is where Sanaida Amador and Baby Barredo studied also.
Oh really?
Yes.
I did not know that.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
In New York, right?
In New York. So you're in good company, you see. You know what I remember about you, Katrice, that's why I started to see you again on Facebook just a few months ago, and you started to surface, and I said, my gosh, the reason why I use the word she's baliw is because when you were a kid, you were so quiet. You were the most quiet and well-behaved of the 6. You know, you hardly spoke. When you were like a wind-up toy. When you were supposed to perform, you gave it all. But after that, you would just be quiet, sit in your corner, or, you know.
You know, Tito, I'm still like that. Like, when I'm performing, I'm performing. When I'm doing a TikTok and I'm doing an Instagram, I feel like it's a combination.
Yeah.
There are days when I'm just serious. When I'm working on a scene or a song, I'm hyper focused, and like when I'm at at an audition, like I would rather not talk to anyone. I would just rather like be zoned in.
Wonderful, yeah.
I feel like that's still me. But to go to like things I've experienced here, like made me crazier.
It's amazing.
Like,
I mean, I want to make sure that we show some clips of what your TikTok is all about, or even just some of your Facebook posts, because you're all over. You're dancing, you're leaping, you're doing, lip syncing, you're singing along, you're doing duets. It's crazy.
I know that's right. Big bag, bustin' at the belly band. Take a man, Balenciaga, party back, and all these bitches fuck. It's big bags, bustin' at the belly band. Take a man, working back, party 'Cause tonight will be the night that I will fall for you over again. Don't make me change my mind. Now I won't live to see another day. I swear it's true. 'Cause a girl like you's impossible to find. Impossible to find. If you need me, call me. No matter where you are, no matter how far. Don't worry, baby. Just call my name. I'll be there in a hurry. You don't have to worry. 'Cause baby, there ain't no mountain high enough. Ain't no valley low enough. Ain't no river wide enough to keep me from getting to you, baby. 'Cause baby, there ain't no mountain high enough. Ain't no valley low enough. Ain't no river wide enough to keep me from getting to you, babe.
So this morning I got up and I decided I'm gonna have a good day today. Instead of waiting around for a good day to happen, I'm gonna go out there and make it happen myself. And so can you. Yeah, because we are in control of our own happiness. So get up, come on. Have a good day together. It's up to you. We're gonna have a good day. And all my homies gonna ride today. And all these mommies gonna fly today. And all we wanna do is get by today. Hey, we're gonna have a good day.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I feel like part of it is like me being a show person.
Yeah.
But also it is me too, but I also am a serious person too. I guess I'm just like all of it,
Okay.
you know.
Okay. So wait,
Yeah.
I see you have posts. You're with a partner? Tell me about your love life. Tell me about the private life of Katrice.
Yeah, I'm currently living with my boyfriend Brad. He's like amazing. He wants to be a screenwriter
Okay.
in Hollywood.
All right.
So he's pursuing the same thing. Yeah, we just spend our days together. I like to cook.
Mhm.
So apparently I'm a really good cook. Cause like hindi masarap talaga nga. Masarap nga talaga. And yeah, we just support each other and usually gets really busy. Like right now we're both really busy. Like he's studying to be a writer and he's in school and he's working and like I'm trying to pursue like everything that I'm trying to pursue. It's super busy, but like we have date nights
Uh-huh.
that where we like watch movies and eat
Where did you meet?
everything.
Saan kayo nagkakilala?
Through an app. Ganun
Really?
na ngayon.
Does that work?
But
Really?
yeah,
Does that work?
we met through Bumble, and I remember like there was a time when it was like, we met through an app, parang nakakahiya. Pero like everyone I asked, like, how'd you meet your boyfriend? How'd you meet your husband? Like, oh, we met through an app. Because like here, like I realized, especially our generation, the millennials, we don't really like going to bars.
Yeah.
Or like a lot of us are very work minded, and a lot of us are very like career focused, and we don't like small talk.
Right.
So we'd rather know like it's very direct. It's like in a dating app, it's like, oh, you think a person is attractive, swipe right. You think they're not attractive, swipe left. It's very like straight to the point. And it's like you take all the guesswork out. And yeah, I feel like I don't know if it happened in the Philippines too often. I know I've met people from the Philippines who met like their spouses.
Yeah.
Through
Tinder sila dito. Tinder.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's good. It's not difficult though that both of you are artists. I mean, especially now with the pandemic and everything. Is that a challenge? I mean, you get challenged as an artist. Like, do you ever think about, well, I have to do something legitimate so I can earn regularly? Is that a struggle?
Like it is a struggle. That's like, but you just make it work. Like you try to live in the today.
Right.
And you focus on the today, and then you'll worry about tomorrow. Like I feel like the pandemic for me was I was very lucky during the pandemic to be with him, and also to like the pandemic was when I kind of renewed. I used to, like, before the pandemic, I felt a little bit discouraged about pursuing like TV and film and theater, and then during the pandemic, like, oh, this is what's important to me.
Mhm.
Like, I think all of us had that during the
Yes,
pandemic. We all realized what was important and what wasn't important.
correct.
I realized that I don't want to spend my life working for a company that has nothing to do with the creative industry. Like, I realized that if when I'm 90 years old, I don't want to say that I didn't pursue what I wanted to do. I think that's like my biggest fear, is that like when I'm 90 years old, I'm going to be like, I could have done this, but
Yeah,
I was too scared to do it, you know
fantastic. I'm so
like
glad. I'm
I
so
think
glad.
that's
I'm so glad that you have
me
found
too.
yourself. Yeah, so glad that you found yourself. Wait, so
Yeah.
let's let them listen to what you're all about.
Look at the sky, tell me, what do you see? Just close your eyes and describe it to me. Heavens are sparkling with starlight tonight. That's what I see through your eyes. I see the heavens each time that you smile. I feel your heartbeat just go on for miles. Suddenly I know my life is worthwhile. That's what I see through your eyes. Here in the night, I see the sun. Here in the dark are two hearts of one. It's out of our hands, we can't stop what we have begun. And love just took me by surprise.
Okay, let's stop muna there. Ang ganda talaga ng timbre ng boses mo, Catrice.
Does it sound the same, Tito Odi, as when, not, of course it's not going to sound exactly the same, but do you hear like the same
It's
timbre?
the timbre is there, but it's I love that it's now you've got the control. And it's very theatrical. You, of course, when you were a kid, you used to be like Lea was also as a kid, almost like a machine, because you are geniuses. I think you had such a strong memory. You would do everything perfectly. So everything was performed as a kid like perfectly. But now I see interpretation. I see
Yeah.
so much in there. A great understanding of the song.
Experience.
Oo, ang lalim talaga. And it's wonderful. It's wonderful to watch. Let's continue.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
Looking through your eyes. Look at myself, and instead I see us. Whoever I am now, it feels like enough. I see a girl who is learning to trust. That's who I see through your eyes. Here in the night, I see the sun. Here in the dark are two hearts of one. It's out of our hands, we can't stop what we have begun. And love just took me by surprise, looking through your eyes.
Catrice, as a musical theater actress, how do you attack songs now? How do you think of a life before you interpret it? I mean, clearly you're not
Yeah,
singing anymore.
yeah, like you know, Tito Adi, you're an actor. Like you, when you read, when you perform a monologue, you try to do method acting, or like you try to like really put memories in there and put experience in there, and then try to put yourself in the shoes of the character, and
Mhm.
like how it's the same thing with singing. Like a song is a monologue to me,
Correct.
right?
Yeah.
So it's like you perform it as a monologue, and then you have you have like an interpretation for every line, and then when you actually perform it, you have to let all that preparation go and just live in it, right? Because you don't want to be too stiff and be like in your head the whole time. You want to actually live in the song, because the thing about a song is like when you're performing a monologue, it's you're performing a monologue, but like when you're performing a song, there's also all these other technical things. You have to like control your voice, and you have to listen to the way the instrumentalists are playing it, and like so it's all, I feel like singing is so, you feel it, you know, it's a, I don't know how else to describe it. Like you just feel it. You just try to put yourself in the moment and sing the song.
You just did exactly what I always teach my students when I teach song interpretation is that you treat it like the life is tuloy tuloy. The
Yeah.
gravest mistake for most singers who don't understand musical theater is that pag instrumental na, patay na sila. There's no life anymore. It's stopped. Because
Yeah.
there's really no story. They're just hanging on to the music and the lyrics. And as soon as that's done, there's no life. And you can
It's
see
called
from the beginning.
subtext, right? It's called
Correct.
subtext. So
Stop.
like when, for example, like if you have a song from, I don't know, Sound of Music, for example, and you're singing like Edelweiss, you're saying Edelweiss, right? You
Right.
have to have subtext behind that word Edelweiss. What does Edelweiss mean to you?
Correct.
Like Edelweiss means as the role you're playing.
Mm-hmm.
What does Edelweiss mean to the character you're playing? It means his love for his country, right? There's so much, and not just love for his country. What specifically do you love about your country? Like, do you like the grass? Do you like the way it smells? Do you like the people? Do you like the food? Like, just from that one single word, Edelweiss, And then there's, after that, there's like, every morning you greet me. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what does that feel like? Like, when you're in a concentration camp, will you still get
Mm-hmm.
to feel what you're feeling like in your when you were there, when you were a kid? It's getting me like choked up right now, because
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's just,
The moment you
yeah,
create life like that, then you don't know where the song will take you, right?
yeah,
The emotions that will come out of that, the colors that will come out of that.
yeah.
Yeah, it's all there. I mean, in this interpretation of yours, it's all there. Let's continue.
And there are some things we don't know. Sometimes our hearts just need to grow. And there is so much I remember underneath the open sky with you forever. Here in the night, I see the sun. Here in the dark, our two hearts are one. It's out of our hands, we can't stop what we have begun. And love just took me by surprise, looking through your eyes.
Here, like what are you thinking here? So it's just your character doesn't drop just because there's an instrumental.
Yeah. Well, I feel like once your character drops,
Yeah.
the audience checks out, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Like once you drop, there's the audience is like,
Yeah. Look at that.
gone.
Until the very end, there's life there. There's things going on in your head. Very
Yeah.
good. Very good.
Yes, Tito Odi.
Wow. I mean, you know what?
Coming from
We can
the
actually,
coming from the
we can
king of
actually do.
music.
I just realized now you're so good at this. We can actually do this. We can actually look at through songs and do reaction videos and talk about what we think is going on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would love. I'm a nerd. Like I'm a
Game ka
nerd.
ba? Game ka ba?
Yes.
We should do something like this.
Yes. Yes, I'm a nerd when it comes to those, especially like Rogers and Hammerstein.
Yeah,
Tito
yeah.
Odi. Like a lot of people think Rogers and Hammerstein is like dated,
Mhm.
but no. Like Rogers, first of all, Stephen Sondheim studied with like
Yes,
Oscar Hammerstein, right?
that's right. Yes,
So it's like there's so many layers.
absolutely.
There's just so many layers, and I'm a nerd for that. Sometimes, like to a fault. Like sometimes my teachers have to tell me, just let go. Like let go, just feel it. Like don't put like so much work into this. But
What?
thanks, Tito Odi. I was gonna say like coming from the king of Philippine musical theater.
No, I love it. I think you're exactly the kind that we are hoping to raise, and you understand this, and you understand it
Yeah.
intelligently. Some people just go by instinct without no real deep analysis, and you have it. You have it both. You've got both.
And
the
Tito Odi,
instinct and intelligence.
listening to Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, and listening to The Little Mermaid, and listening to Joseph the Dreamer, that started it. Like that started because before that I was singing like pop songs and I was singing like Celine Dion things.
Right.
And then I was also singing like Disney stuff, but like when I would listen to like Joseph the Dreamer, I would like hear the emotion
Mhm.
in your voice and like Carlo Rosa's voice and like and I think it was Carla Martinez, right? Who was
Yeah.
Yeah, it was her. And I remember I would act it out and I would act out Little Mermaid in my bedroom. Like
Yeah.
I would act the whole CD out and sing with it and like pretend that I was those characters.
Teka, why were you here when we did Mermaid? You might have migrated by that time because you
I
would have
was here. I was there when I did Mermaid. Mermaid was like one of my.
baka alanganin yung edad mo because you would have been a shoe-in if you had been the right age.
No, I was like 11, 10.
Yeah,
I couldn't have been in the show.
alanganin yung
Yeah.
age eh. But you'd be perfect.
Wasn't she like the young? Jewel was like the youngest character in that show, right? She was like supposed to be
Right.
like 16.
16
Yeah.
around, yeah. That's why it was Carl Banawa and Diane de la Fuente. I think you were too young
Yeah.
at that time. So does that mean that when we interpret a pop song now, it's done like a musical theater actress?
No, it is now, but before it wasn't. Like before I had all this training and before I listened to Joseph and Mermaid, I just thought like a song was a song.
Yeah.
And then when I did Play Shop, I realized there was this thing called musical theater
Right.
where you also had to act out a song.
Yeah.
Cause like when you watch like say you watch Mariah Carey, right? She's not acting out a song. She's singing. She's singing a pop song. She's not. She's feeling the emotions of the song, but she didn't put like. She's not playing a character.
Correct.
She's
Correct.
just her.
Correct. Yeah. Well, it's been awesome. My God. I mean, see, I said I was going to try to keep this at 30 minutes. We've gone way over that because there's just so many interesting things about you.
Naging nerdy na yung discussion.
No, I love it. And I think we can spin this off to something else later on,
Yeah, let me know. I'd be so down to do that. Oh my God.
Yeah.
This is
So
like my favorite thing to do. Is
Yeah,
dissect.
Tell me about your TikTok though. Where do you get ideas for your TikTok? Wala
Oh my
lang.
God. They just come to me. Like parang feel lang. Like I don't know, Tito. I don't know where it all comes from. It just happens. Like sometimes you're bored and then you just do it. I
Yeah.
have no idea.
Well, keep at it because now we are in the world of social media. And sometimes discovering people doesn't normally happen anymore the way it used to, which is, you go the normal route, auditions and everything. Now, if you have the numbers, people will sit up and listen. I mean, if you have 1 million followers,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
So you
Correct.
have to work up towards that. And I think you can.
Yeah.
So just
Exactly.
enjoy it. Okay, well, listen, we're gonna get together still as Play Shop Kids, so I'm gonna hear more from you. Do you
I'm
want to
excited
say
to
any?
see all of their stuff.
Yeah, but you want to say anything to anybody here in the Philippines that will be watching this?
Oh my gosh, I miss all of you. I miss
Uh-huh.
everyone in trumpets, everyone in theater in the
Yeah.
Philippines.
Yeah,
I miss Shangri-La. And I miss Tokyo and like Binalot and all that
Oh
stuff.
my gosh. When was the last time you were in Manila?
Two, 2003.
Tagal na.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh. Well, hopefully after the pandemic, we can bring you here in some capacity to perform.
for sure, for sure. I
Yeah.
would love that.
Okay. Cool. Well, Catrice, it's been wonderful to touch base with you and know
Thanks,
that you're
Tito
still
Audie.
know that you've never lost your passion and love for performance because that was what you were born and designed to do.
I believe that. Thanks, Tito Audie.
Thank you. Love you.
Love you too. Bye.
Bye.